evening and welcome to Get Real with Ralph. I am your humble host, Ralph Nudi, coming to you live from the studios of AM 1050 WLIP in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and simulcast on WLIP.com and on my YouTube channel, which can be reached at GetRealWithRalph.com. That's GetRealWithRalph.com.
Stuck in the middle with you. Yes, I'm stuck in the middle with you.
Do you ever find yourself watching the food fight that we call our government and just find yourself wanting to eat your meal in peace? Don't you just want to relax at the table, pick up your fork, talk to the family, friendly conversation, and not get hit with that stray French fry of immigration policy or the mashed potatoes of abortion rights whacking you right in the face? Or how about the green beans of climate change? That's right, folks, a downright food fight every day. And for what? Let's face it, there's almost always a common sense solution to every problem that we have out there, whether it be education, immigration, healthcare, family planning, staring you right in the face. It's a solution that everybody can live with, but it doesn't make everybody entirely happy. But the problem is, the people who purport to solve these problems need job security. So there isn't going to be a solution to be had anytime soon if we leave it up to them. Heck, on the left, even a win isn't enough. Things that would have been a win 50 years ago, and darn well should have been, are now just starting points for going to the extreme. That holds true on the right as well. Everything seems to be politically demagogued these days, and the hypocrisy of the political establishment knows no bounds. Ladies and gentlemen, our thoughts have been hijacked, our values have been appropriated, and our fears are being exploited every day in an attempt to divide us. And divide us they do. We are in one of the greatest periods of financial prosperity that our country's seen in the last 50 years, and we could ride this wave and make it bigger if we just stay focused. If we, the people, could ignore the media, ignore the negativity, ignore the president's Twitter feed, and just pay attention to what policies are working and demand we continue down the path of getting America's house in order, we might just be okay. But beware. Beware of Russian agents masquerading as news reporters. That's right, you might laugh, but trust nobody. Don't trust the internet. Don't trust Facebook. Don't trust Alexa. Don't trust Siri. And don't trust Google. Whatever you do, don't trust Google.
Stuck in the middle with you.
Good evening again, and welcome to the program. In the studio with me today, as always, is my trusted producer and man of many talents, Mr. James Celovich. Jim, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Ralph. How are you, sir? How was your week?
Oh, it went fast.
It did go fast, didn't it?
I wake up, it's Monday morning, basking from the glow of this wonderful show that we do, and before I know it, it's Sunday again.
I know.
And I'm trying to figure out what I did all
fast.
week. It did.
It just flew right by. And it's a festival season, too.
That makes it
which
go
is
fast.
absolutely crazy.
Did you do any festivals?
I went to Mount Carmel Festival on Friday evening.
How was the Friday evening
Oh,
entertainment?
it was fantastic. Boys and Toys and the band Serendipity played. And, it's just a lot of family fun, friends I haven't seen in a while, and a couple beverages.
This is
of
one of the unique,
adult kind.
One of the cool, unique things about the Kenosha area is these festivals are still.
I love them.
They're the place to be.
Next week is St. Therese.
Yep.
And I always like to have a car show one of the days.
They got the car show on the back, and what's nice about St. Therese is it's all shaded.
Shaded.
You got
I was
all
about
the
to say,
trees.
and believe me,
Yeah.
I made the rounds today. I went down to a friend of mine was performing over at the Pride Fest right there, and there's tons of people down there. My Lord,
We took a little walk past it this morning with the kids. First we went to Pride Fest, then we went to the Mount Carmel Festival. We kind of walked past it and gave a little.
So a friend of mine, she does pole dancing. She was giving some tips, having people come up and try pole dancing.
That's the sort of thing I was trying to avoid with my little ones. I think like teenagers and above would have been fine. So we kind of
It's a great
skirted on the
workout.
outskirts
It's a great
of it.
workout.
I'm sure it is.
It's a great workout. And
Have you
and-
done
and-
it?
And Coke? No, I will not get on a pole.
Oh, come
It's
on.
not-
I
it's-
wanna-
It's not going to happen.
You know what? Oh, by the way, if you guys want to call in today, we're going to be opening up the lines
Mm-hmm.
262-694-1050. And one of the things you can weigh in is whether or not you want to see Jim on a pole, because I think that would be
If
interesting.
we want to raise some money for something, I'll pole dance.
It better be a lot of money for a good cause.
It got to
though.
be a really lot of money, but so I went down, visited my friends. I went over to the Rotary tournament, softball tournament.
Gotcha.
It was a great day because they were inducting a bunch of people into the softball Hall of Fame, which is really nice. You know, some of my good friends I used to play with were being inducted.
That's a big deal here in
Oh my
Kenosha
God!
still.
And Betsy Ade sang the national anthem for the women's championship game.
Oh, fantastic.
So I got to see Betsy today.
Keep bumping into her more and more places. In fact, I talked to her manager, Victor, today, and just such good people.
Oh, yeah.
They're really doing a good job of work. One of the hardest working people in music right now.
Well, and this is the opportunity they have to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, because things keeps happening for the band, they're not going to be available.
Right.
Possibly, hopefully, that's the case because we want to see them succeed
Absolutely.
as much as they can.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not before September 28th, though.
September 28th. That's your big.
No, that's your show, isn't it?
Oh, well, you're right. The Songs of Freedom Festival. Boy, that went right over my head. Yes, September 28th at Penoyer Park. That's the band show. We're doing the Songs of Freedom concert. We just went through the first committee approval over
Okay,
the city
good,
of Kenosha. So
good.
it's going well. We're gonna start putting out some flyers and selling
Okay.
tickets very soon. Tickets are going to be $12 each.
Okay.
It is an all-day music festival, headlined by Betsy Ade and the Well-Known Strangers. The money that we raise is going to a group that I've spoke about a couple times here on the show, Operation Underground Railroad, and what they do is rescue children that have been trafficked, which is such a noble cause, and it is a nonprofit of extreme action. And I gotta say,
fantastic.
which is good to see, because so many issues-oriented nonprofits are good at maybe helping to move the needle on raising awareness, and that's a good thing. And of course, you have to have a exit strategy for when you get people out of human trafficking, and they do all that. But the other component that they add on is the fact that they go with tactical teams and physically rescue children that are in bondage. And when I saw that, it was so moving that, in fact, I saw it a couple weeks before my first show here, and it completely changed what my focus was going to be. But it's such a fantastic cause. And you've got a fundraiser coming up sooner than that this month.
August 17th. It'll be the third year that I am a part of. It's a third annual one as well. I MC it, and I do some comedy and things as such with it as well. It's a fundraiser.
Some comedy. Boy, you're awfully humble about that. Jim is a funny guy.
I don't want to overextend myself. I always, it's kind of like because if I suck, then people are like, yeah, well, he never did talk big about himself, so I guess he was right. There's this disease called, I can't. Can you read this?
I don't even have my read.
My eyes are bad.
Yeah, mine too. That is the alternating hemiplegia. Sounds like alternating hemiplegia.
Well, it's.
I saw the initials for the AHCF.
The AHCF. Folks, Google it. Check it out. They've got a fundraiser coming up August 17th. Now, what this disease is it's misdiagnosed a lot.
Okay.
With children. What happens is that they think they're having, they just have seizures. Here's a bunch of drugs, and everything will be fine.
Ends up not being the case.
Yeah, ends up not being the case. And so they're really close to finding a cure for it. And so this fundraiser is going to be August 17th from 4 to 9 p.m. at the Hiawatha Bar and Grill in Sturtevant. Going to be some comedy and live music. Also a chance to win a scooter, a 2013 Wolf 500cc scooter.
A scooter.
Yeah.
I could see tooling around in one of those.
Or a kayak.
I definitely
Doing a kayak, and there could be other prizes too. There'll also be a poker run involved with it too. And if you don't ride, they're going to have a bus from place to place.
That's probably a good idea for me.
Yeah.
Have you seen me on a
and
motorcycle?
dancing and food, and we're going to have the organizers of this in the upcoming show too. So to take.
Yeah, that's this upcoming Sunday that they're coming on.
No, August 17th.
No, I mean coming out of here. Oh, we're gonna have them the week before.
Yeah, we got to
Okay.
have a week before if we can. If
Got it.
not, 2 weeks before is fine too.
Absolutely,
Because we're so organized.
we're getting there, Jim. We're getting there. I tell you, I mean, this was a fledgling idea a month ago, or a month and a half ago, and here we are doing it.
Oh, and don't forget coming up, because shameless plug, I might as well. I got the radio, I got the microphone, and I control the board.
You do control the board. We're going to talk about the over your head.
So overhead improvisers, we open this coming Thursday.
That was a fun show with your.
Yeah,
your
was
crew,
that a
by
good
the way.
time with them? They
It
really
was-
enjoyed it too. They really
I
enjoyed
mean,
it.
I really want to have them back again
Yeah.
and do more of that. And I was going to sit in on some of your rehearsals, but last week was a bad week. But this week,
Yeah,
this week, with the
pop on
exception
by.
of Monday, which I'm going to a ball game on Monday. But
awesome.
yeah, taking my 11-year-old and a bunch of kids his age and another dad, and we're going to teach these boys how to tailgate.
Nice. There
Yeah.
you are. That's
Got to get them started early.
that's right.
Yeah.
Our show we open Thursday night, 8:00 shows Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and then the following Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's like whose line is it anyways? Those of you who listened last week got a taste of it. If you didn't, we're doing improv.
And we're definitely going to do some more. We're gonna have to bring them back and do some more improv.
Yeah,
even on
you
the
were
show,
pretty good
because
at it, buddy. I'm telling you what, you should. Start taking a look at.
Well, I got a scheduling conflict with this upcoming show because they did ask me to join the cast, but after this upcoming show, I definitely like to get involved.
So, yeah, I think everyone, if you want to learn improv, you can possibly leave a message for me here at WLIP, and I'll get a hold of you.
Perfect.
Because I think improv, everyone should take an improv class. I think in life.
Anybody who's in sales, anybody who has to do any sort of public speaking at any point in time, improv is important because it gets you in touch with your human side, your sense of humor side, so that it's not all abrasive all the time.
You know, I have a friend who he does for a living. He hangs art. He travels all over the place, and he hangs actually.
Well, Art must hate that.
Oh yeah, hey, art. Yeah, we're hanging them in Austin today. String them up. No, so he goes to these different places, and he hangs these beautiful works of art and things as such. He was in a house in Austin, Texas last week, and this woman had this big carving of yes and. Now, yes and is a saying we use in improv. That's accepting everything. Someone says something to you, they give you a suggestion as you're on stage, you yes and them.
Okay.
So you agree with them and you add on to it.
You agree with them and add on to it.
Yes and. I think everyone should do this in your regular life too, but yes and.
You've got to give me an auditory example of that.
Why don't you start? Say it's a beautiful day.
I can start with something that simple.
Yes, yeah.
It's a beautiful day today.
Yes, and I took advantage of it by taking a walk by the lake.
Yeah, and I'll bet that the wind was blowing and the tall ship sailed by, and it would be a really good idea to climb aboard that thing next time.
Yes, and you know what? I think I'm going to do that. We'll definitely see. That's what you
Yes,
get.
I think you should walk the plank. And you just keep going until you work your way up to a punchline. Or
I
a
guess
funny
I will
moment.
work. Well, it becomes dialogue. It becomes a scene. Not so much a scene. It becomes it's a scene, and it's natural.
Sure.
And that's what I like about improv. But yes, and anyways.
I watched a documentary 2 nights ago on the creation of the show Seinfeld.
Oh wow.
And they had a lot of back and forth between Larry David and Jerry. And what I didn't realize until I watched this is that most of that stuff that was happening in the show was stuff that Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld had already kind of worked out with each other.
Yep.
And when they cast the role of George Costanza and brought in Jason Alexander, he didn't even realize that he was actually playing Larry David till into the second season. They were just kind of, and he was always just maybe a season behind their conversations that they were having,
Right.
which is why their breakout season was when they started talking about starting a show on the show.
Right.
And the producers hated it. They hated the entire arc of it. They thought that it wasn't going to work. It was going to be an absolute failure. They tried to talk him out of it, but they had given creative control already at that point to to Jerry Seinfeld
Yeah,
and
yeah.
into Larry David,
That
and
was
that
a-
ended up being the breakout season.
Mhm.
That's when they surpassed.
And those are
everybody.
golden years of comedians being offered, development deals.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just unheard of nowadays. I mean, it still happens.
It's called YouTube now.
Yeah, well, there's so many different. There wasn't YouTube back then.
As
or
long as YouTube
Netflix
doesn't
and-
penalize you, because I got to tell you, I had not been penalized at all by YouTube until I did the episode where I was talking about the Project Veritas, or the Project Veritas undercover investigation of YouTube and of Google and how they were manipulating results. And did you know that stream was my first stream to ever get blocked, ever?
Really?
Really?
Interesting.
So, I mean, now I'm talking about Google. Who knows? I might get blocked here. And they used a copyright reason where normally they claim monetization because, of course, we play, as a licensed radio station, we play copyrighted material on here, and we have to give them the monetization if we do it on YouTube, which is absolutely acceptable. But they took Yellow Submarine was their excuse. Yet there are dozens of videos out there with Yellow Submarine where the artists are just claiming monetization.
Right. Wow.
So, yeah, there's...
well, that means they're paying attention to what you're doing.
They are, which I was surprised.
Which
now I have
mean-
3 viewers, including the whoever the.
You would think if somebody gets so many hits that they'll start looking at it.
You would, but I wasn't getting that many hits. So now my third viewer apparently is the censor over at Google, or the artificial intelligence anyway that is playing censor.
Let's take a break.
Let's do that.
We'll take a break. More would get real at Ralph.
When we come back, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about immigration after the break.
Blue Star medicated ointment gets 5-star reviews from our loyal users for fast relief of the pain and itch of almost any skin irritation.
Blue Star soothes insect bites and fungal infections.
It really works on the summer rashes I get every year.
I had psoriasis on my elbows. Blue Star worked wonders.
Amazing stuff. Smear a bit on and the itch is gone.
Look for the white box with the Blue Star in the first aid section. Feel Blue Star work fast, or your money back.
You're catering a wedding, and the bride says,
Everyone is raving about the hors d'oeuvres. My aunt was asking if you do corporate events.
now is the time when the right business card is essential, and Vistaprint can help. Head to Vistaprint.com, and you can customize 500 cards starting at just $9.99. You choose the paper, the shape, and the finish. Whatever your style, create a card that gives you the confidence to own the now. So head to Vistaprint.com and get 500 business cards starting at $9.99. Use promo code 2424 at checkout. That's Vistaprint.com, promo code 2424.
Hi, are you looking for a home in southeastern Wisconsin? If you are, go to 262kenoshahomes.com. That's 262kenoshahomes.com, where you can see all of the properties for sale in real time. It'll even show you the properties that are active with offer, which if you go to most of the national major websites, doesn't tell you that, so you can see what's really available. Then when you're done, talk to the people at the Success Team brokered by eXp Realty. You can call Ben Gentile or myself, Ralph Nudi, anytime at 262-656-7171. Search for your home at 262kenoshahomes.com and then call us at 262-656-7171.
Are you looking for the hottest places to have a dinner date or the coolest places to grab a drink and appetizers with friends? Well, 262 Eats has it all. 262 Eats is a local food show that features the best the area has to offer. Watch Ralph Nudi as he samples the food, interviews the owners, and takes you inside and behind the scenes of the favorite places of locals and travelers alike. Be sure to like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel to win prizes, gift certificates, and get special discount offers. That's 262 Eats.
And we're back here in the studios at AM 1050 WLIP. This is Ralph Nudi, and you are listening to Get Real with Ralph on today, the 14th of July, the 50th anniversary of the cult classic movie Easy Rider.
No kidding, huh?
No kidding. 50 years.
50 years.
Do you remember 50 years ago?
Actually, I do.
I don't, because I'm only 40. I'll be 47
Yeah,
this month.
I remember. I can remember the moon landing.
Wow.
I used to have this little shirt. I was a little tyke. I was a little toddler. But I had this, well, actually, I was 6 years old. But I had this.
It was the biggest news the world had ever seen at the time, right?
I remember. I can remember it.
My earliest memory of a news event was March 1981 when Ronald Reagan was shot.
Wow.
And I was 9 years old. And I mean, when your president is shot, I don't care. I think at the time, and I would hope that would happen now, I think politics ends when something like that happens and people just rally around their own country, regardless of whether they like the individual or not.
Right. I mean, it gets down to the human factor.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't matter what side you're on, which I hate to begin with. I hate this side and that side. I had a big discussion today. I ran a friend of mine. He's a little political, but we talked about, and he's more to the right.
Sure.
God bless him. And but we saw so eye to eye. I'm independent. I'm down the middle of the road.
Absolutely.
And we just talked about different things, and I was just like, hey, well.
I mean,
the people want it.
I spent a good chunk of my years working on the right side of the aisle, for people, helping people get to the positions they're in. And some of them deserved it. Some of them didn't. And, I've taken a step back from that lens. And when you don't look at things through that lens, and when you look at things through the lens of just being good people, right, there's a lot of good points.
Yep.
And there's a lot of BS that just gets washed up into
There's got to be more hands coming across the aisle to shake hands and do things together with. Enough of this, Democrats against Republicans, Republicans against Democrats. Do what's right for the people.
We were warned against this. Our first president, George Washington, in his farewell address, the two things that he strenuously warned us against: foreign entanglements. Mm-hmm. Boy, have we we haven't learned our lesson there. And political parties. Mm-hmm. Those are the two things that he said would destroy us. Mm-hmm. And we seem to have had too much of our fill of both. Would you not agree?
I totally agree. Totally agree with that.
Speaking of which, in the news today, and this is a story that I wanted to touch on, and if you want to weigh in on this or weigh in on why you think I'm touching on this, our lines are open, 262-694-1050 here at WLIP, 262-694-1050. But $1.7 million in methamphetamines seized at the U.S.-Mexico border. This just came out today. Did you hear this story?
Nope. It's the first I'm hearing of it.
U.S. Customs and Border Patrol officers announced Friday that they had made a stunning find inside an SUV at the U.S.-Mexico border. Methamphetamines valued at over $1.7 million. Officers seized the drugs July 1st as they stopped a 42-year-old man from Brownsville, Texas, at the Brownsville and Matamoros International Bridge. The estimated total value of the drugs, $1.797 million. Investigators found 74 packages which contained a total of 89 pounds of alleged methamphetamine inside the white 2007 Volkswagen Touareg they added. Our officers continue to maintain an elevated enforcement posture to keep our borders secure, prevent dangerous narcotics from entering into our country, said Port Director Tater Ortiz, Brownsville Port of Entry. I congratulate our officers for their excellent job in this significant seizure.
Wow.
That's a lot of meth, man. A lot.
That's insane. It's just insane that, that stuff's still coming across the border.
Nobody wants to talk common sense about our border. The second story that I wanted to tie to that will give you some reason. You'll see
they
why.
caught him. They got it.
They got it. They got it.
How much more has gotten through?
There's a lot that's getting through, and it's because it's all a political football. Every last bit of it. So I've got a second story that is... It's related, and It's a different story, but it still involves a border, and involves the other side, and that is that here in the same news day, same news cycle, Joe Biden is getting barbecued by his own people, I guess you could say, his own people, because he refuses to apologize for the nearly 3 million deportations that got carried out during his tenure as vice president. And I'm not going to read that entire article, but you can't have the will to enforce borders as a country when half the country is being manipulated to think that doing so is mean or evil or somehow agoraphobic or xenophobic or whatever kind of phobia you want to attach to it, when really we just need common sense. And I think that if we had the right people in the right places, which to me the right people is the United States Army, across the entire border, you wouldn't need as many Border Patrol agents because the Border Patrol agents could do their job of enforcement at border crossings. They could make sure that all the people that we need to let into this country can get through because they're not busy running up and down the border. But that means making it not porous. And I don't care, whether it's a bridge, whether it's a wall, whether it's a fence, whatever you want to call it. Having a physical border isn't mean. I've got a fence around my backyard. In fact, my neighbors put a fence up I didn't like because it's ugly. But it is what it is.
We got a caller on the line.
We do have a caller on the line. All right. Well, let's see what our caller has to say. How do I do this?
Hi, you live on the air? Get real with Ralph.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, it's Gabe. What's pole dancing?
Excuse me?
What's what? Say that again.
Pole dancing.
Pole dancing. Okay, so Gabe, how old are you, Gabe, and where are you calling from?
I'm 11.
You're 11, and where are you calling from? What town?
Kenosha.
Kenosha. Full disclosure, guys, this is my 11-year-old son. Tell your mom that
I'm
this.
Ralph's son.
Tell your mom that this show is not safe for children.
Dad will tell you later.
How come every time I ask for callers, I get a relative first?
That's fine.
That is fine. So, Gabriel, you're an actor, so as long as you're on the phone, tell us a little bit about your acting debut coming up.
Yeah.
I'm in a movie, and I'm in The Lion King Jr. I'm Little Simba.
Little Simba in The Lion King
Awesome.
Jr. And you do have a movie coming out. What's the name of the movie that you're in?
The Fear of Looking Up.
The Fear of Looking Up is an independent film. The trailer's out there right now. You can actually pull it up on YouTube or wherever else, and it's going to be playing the film festival circuit.
Is that the horror film?
It is. It is about a deranged police officer.
Is that the one with the girl with the...
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I was having drinks with her the other night. Kim Emer.
Oh, yeah.
Who plays the mother.
Yeah.
And she was describing the shoot and everything.
Gabriel,
she did like 2 days of work.
That's the lady that sliced herself in the very beginning of the first scene. Now, Gabe, as an 11-year-old actor, what have you learned about horror films?
Gabe?
What?
What have you learned about horror films as an 11-year-old actor? What have you learned?
Scary.
Well, they're scary, but are they real?
No.
He had a lot of fun finger painting with blood in one of the sets.
Well, that's just it, and they're very professional.
They are.
And she told me about the prosthetic they put on her throat.
Yeah.
With a little tube that went down her back, and the guy's actually laying on the floor, so when she cut her throat...
She pushed the button.
They push a button and blood splurts out.
I think there is a redeeming quality on the flip side of that of having. I have to say, he got cast in this movie, and I didn't get a chance to read the script ahead of time, and I started reading ahead before a scene that he's in that's a little bit horrific.
It's playing in Greece.
It is, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And you're all over Greece right now, Gabriel. Probably, I'm not going to say too much about his scene other than to say that it was pretty horrific when I read it, and I started having second thoughts, but he'd already been in every other scene, and this is the final scene he was going to be in. And so, hey, folks, if your child's ever going to be in a movie, always read the script first. I can tell you that. That's the lesson I learned. But I got to that point, and I was panicked. And then when I watched them create the scene with him helping create the scene, I realized how instructive this was and how much this was just creating make-believe.
It's all make-believe, yeah.
Yeah.
It's make-believe.
And when you're creating it, it's a lot easier to understand.
I think that's what a lot of
people
people have to realize when they're watching a horror film with children in it.
Yeah.
That not all the scenes are shot with the children. I mean, they're going to shoot the scene like a close-up of the kid, and he's not looking at the gore that's happening. Well, that's how they edit it down. And there are different ones that Gabe was probably a part of that
absolutely.
He saw how it happened.
And my 20-year-old is actually in the trailer, and he in the trailer, a guy gets shot, and it just goes right over him, like all the debris, I guess you want to call it. All the matter, as we're going to call it. Well, Gabriel, thank you very much for calling. That kind of came as a surprise, and we're gonna move on to the next topic. But I guess this is your debut on radio as well, so you're hitting
Good job,
all the mediums.
Gabe, you did great, buddy.
Thank you.
You have a career in radio, but
Thank you.
stick with film and stage.
Yeah, hopefully you don't have the face for radio like your dad.
All right, bye-bye. Oh, that's nice of him to call.
That was, yeah. He asked what pole dancing was. I mean, talk about, I turned about 29 shades of red right there when you said that.
Daddy will tell you when he gets home. What pole dancing
Let's put it
is.
this way. I did not meet your mother there.
It's a great fitness thing, pole dancing. I mean,
Sure.
Everyone from every walk of life are taking pole lessons.
Sure.
Because
Well,
it's fitness.
It has redeeming qualities. I mean, we used to spend a lot of time being connoisseurs of that art form when I was stationed in South Korea. That was a big thing.
I got you. Okay. Supporting single mothers. I get it. Not a problem.
Something like that. Actually, looking back, it was probably my first brush with human trafficking, and I didn't know it at the time.
That's just
You know,
it.
as a young
we'll talk
GI.
about that more as far as how that things happen. We're going to take another break.
All right, we
We're
are
at that
already
point.
near the bottom of the hour, so after this, we're going to introduce our musical guests.
Yep, we're giving our musical guests in here, and Gina's on it already. She's so awesome.
All right,
You're
stay
so
tuned.
lucky to have her.
We are lucky to have Gina. She's a hard worker. Stay tuned for our musical guest after the break on Get Real with Ralph.
WLIP, we are live and local. Happenings Q&A with Frank Carmichael. Weekdays 1 to 3 on AM 1050 WLIP.
Are you looking for the hottest places to have a dinner date or the coolest places to grab a drink and appetizers with friends? Well, 262 Eats has it all. 262 Eats is a local food show that features the best the area has to offer. Watch Ralph Nudi as he samples the food, interviews the owners, and takes you inside and behind the scenes of the favorite places of locals and travelers alike. Be sure to like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel to win prizes, gift certificates, and get special discount offers. That's 262 Eats.
The Home Depot has new lower prices on Traffic Master laminate flooring from just 49 cents a square foot. Beautiful wood-look floors that'll stand the test of time. And teenagers and their friends. With Traffic Master, you'll rest easy knowing your floors can take whatever life dishes out. Even easier, knowing nobody beats our prices, guaranteed. Today is the day for doing Traffic Master laminate flooring from just 49 cents a square foot. Available exclusively at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. U.S. only. See warranty for details.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, or even with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Affordable term life insurance is out there. Call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-481-1458. 800-481-1458 or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too.
Message and data rates may apply. Individual results may vary. Exclusions apply.
But hey, I'm buying a huge flat screen TV so I can finally see it without my glasses.
Why not just get LASIK at the LASIK Vision Institute? That's what I'm doing.
My glasses and contacts are a pain. I'd love to finally get rid of these, but who can afford LASIK?
You can. Because the LASIK Vision Institute is offering dramatically low prices and an absolutely free consultation. Just text VISION33 to 350350. The LASIK Vision Institute has already performed over 1 million procedures. They use the latest FDA-approved LASIK technology that helps the majority of patients achieve 20/20 vision for a fraction of what others charge. Better vision, better value. The LASIK Vision Institute. Make this the year you finally get LASIK. For a free consultation plus an extra 20% discount, text VISION33 to 350350. You'll see for free if LASIK is right for you. That's VISION33 to 350350.
Grab your motorcycle, head out to R&R Crossing in Russell on July 20th for the Wheels for Alley Benefit Run. It's a poker run, $10 per person, starting at R&R Crossing, cruising here, there, and everywhere, and then coming back to R&R Crossing. $10 for dinner, served 1 to 8 p.m. There will be a 50-50 drawing, raffles, lots of great items, all trying to raise money to get Allie, a 7-year-old girl in a wheelchair, a vehicle with a lift to help her mother out. Come on out to R&R Crossing on July 20th for the Wheels for Alley Benefit Run. For more information or to get your event on the community calendar, go to WLIP.com.
AM 1050 WLIP Kenosha County Radar Weather. Sponsored by
Mason's Eatery and Pub, Highway 50 just west of Green Bay Road, Kenosha. With happy hour, weekdays 2 to 5. Buy one, get one on draft beer, cocktails, and wine.
Sunday night, 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms mainly before 8 p.m., then turning partly cloudy with a low around 70. Monday, mostly sunny and hot with a high near 90. Monday night, mostly clear with a low around 71. Tuesday, there is a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms after 2 p.m., then turning mostly sunny with a high near 88. This is your weather twice an hour or when severe weather strikes on AM 1050 WLIP.
And a little more music from the soundtrack of Easy Rider on today, the 50th anniversary of that cult classic. That is The Weight by the band. Hopefully you know it. If you don't,
you should.
You should. I don't think that, I hate to say kids these days, but man,
Dang kids these days.
they miss out on, they're missing out, I have to say. They're
With their
missing out.
hippity hop music.
That's what I love about having musical guests here. I don't know if you've noticed. Have you noticed something every musical guest has had in common? They're old.
They got beards?
No, they actually play musical instruments.
Oh, well, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's
Oh,
not
nowadays, I get
that's
your
not
point.
a
I get your
prerequisite to
point.
be a musician anymore. I mean, nowadays you could just take other people's music and loop it and do all kinds of stuff with it. and
What cracks me up is they think they invented it, too. It's just like, come on, man.
Yeah.
You know?
No, when it comes to loop musicians, have you seen when they play their own stuff and they loop it? I love loops. I think that you can do some really cool things with those.
I agree.
Now, that was Eric speaking up. In the studio today, or I'm sorry, that wasn't Eric. That was Eric's friend, right?
Hi.
Ryan, right?
Sean.
Sean, Ryan. I feel like I'm playing improv already. All right.
could-
So
could be Ryan.
on the bill coming in, Eric Nelson. Eric is a basic guitar player, and I guess you write songs, you sing. You're part of the Dillweeds. You're part of Pat Garrett and the Outlaws as well.
Correct. I'm really not much of a songwriter, but I have been surrounded by some great songwriters. Adam Lance from the Dillweeds writes a lot of original material, and he's a phenomenal songwriter. And Pete's got a couple originals who you know,
Mhm.
Pete Rollo.
Pete
and,
Rollo, yeah.
Pat Garrett, his songs are they're priceless.
They're different. They're good.
And you have Sean with you on the violin. Looks like, is that a violin or?
Are you going to ask
It's a
if
fiddle.
it's a violin
It's a
or
fiddle.
a fiddle?
Yeah.
Depends how you play it.
Well, it's a fiddle when you're playing it, and it's a violin when you're selling it.
So you want to buy
No,
fiddles?
there's only joke answers really to that. Some people say it's a flatter bridge and there's some kind of different setup, but
The difference is you can spill beer on a fiddle.
that's right. You don't spill beer on a violin.
Well, I suppose. So what do you spill on a violin? Fine. Well,
Ooh,
nothing.
Yes.
Hopefully nothing. I'm guessing.
Moet.
Moet.
Yeah.
It's what spills out of
A
it.
fine Chianti.
So how have you two been playing together for a while?
Yes, a handful of years now, eh?
Yeah. Well, we go.
Hey,
back
what are you,
to-
Canadian?
I'm
We go back
Wisconsin.
to the American Folk Days, which
Ooh.
is a bluegrass band, and
Mhm.
Okay.
I remember American folk.
Geez, so what?
Yep.
10 years?
Yeah.
Over 10 years?
It's. I would say it's a 10-yearish kind of thing.
Yeah, at least 10 years.
Yeah, when-
Gotcha.
When I moved back to Kenosha, that was the first group that I jumped back into. Was American Folk.
When you moved out of Kenosha, where did you move?
I moved to Oshkosh first for a violin degree, and then to Madison to do understudy for teaching beginner
Gotcha.
players, and also to deliver pizza and work with the area songwriters.
And somewhere around there, learn to
Nice.
play the fiddle too, huh?
I learned how to play some fiddle. I got into a bluegrass band in college. I got lucky.
That's awesome.
Do you still teach? at
Oh
all?
yeah, Monday through Thursday at the Kenosha Music Conservatory.
Oh, you're over there with Brandon and Greg
Yep,
over
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're
I'm
all
teaching
buds.
now, too.
That's a
I got
great
my
group
first
of
student.
knowledgeable guys there and gals that are really educating our youth. If if you have a child and you want to get them into music, it's one of the places you can check out for
If
sure.
you're an adult and you want to take some lessons.
Oh, for sure.
That too.
Because I did. I sat in with Greg because I played a little bit of guitar and I just, like, man, I need to get back into it,
Yeah.
I got this acoustic sitting staring at me at home. I'm like, man, dude, pick it up again, Jim. Jeez.
Play me.
Yeah.
Why
Shout
are you
out
just
to the
leaving me
Cosmic
here alone?
family, if any of the Cosmic families listening.
Cosmic families.
Cosmic Railroad.
So you were in three different groups altogether then?
Just really two.
Gotcha.
I fill in here and there, very seldom. But Sean plays with a lot of people all around Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Now, you from the area originally, born and raised?
Yes.
Hmm?
Yeah. I started playing with American folk. Their bass player left, and I tried out, and then Adam was just like, "Do you have a car?" And I said, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, you got the job."
God, I remember when auditioning for a
rocking.
band meant your hair had to be long enough. I could never get hair back then. My hair was always too short. It was a diabolical opposition between parents and people casting for bands, I swear. So what are you going to play for us today?
Well, we are going to play some old numbers, like old as in 50s, 60s, 60s here. I think we're going to start off one with from the Box Tops, The Letter.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let her rip. They got to put their headphones down, folks.
Give me a ticket for an airplane. Ain't got time to take a fast train. Lonely days are gone, I'm a-going home. My baby, she wrote me a letter. I don't care how much money I gotta spend. Gotta get back to my baby once again. Lonely days are gone, I'm a-going home. My baby, she wrote me a letter. Well, she wrote me a letter, said she couldn't live without me no more. Listen, mister, can't you see I got to get back to my baby once more? Anyway, yeah, give me a ticket for an airplane. Ain't got time to take a fast train. Lonely days are gone, I'm a-going home. My baby, she wrote me a letter. Well, she wrote me a letter, said she couldn't live without me no more. Listen, mister, can't you see I got to get back to my baby once more? Anyway, yeah. Well, she wrote me a letter, said she couldn't live without me no more. Listen, mister, can't you see I got to get back to my baby once more? Anyway, yeah, give me a ticket for an airplane. Ain't got time to take a fast train. Lonely days are gone, I'm a-going home. My baby, she wrote me a letter. My baby, she wrote me a letter. My baby, she wrote me a letter.
Yeah! You made that song fun again.
That's one that you probably don't hear too often these days.
No, you don't.
You hear it in a movie soundtrack once in a while.
Yeah.
It seems like, but or maybe it's not quite old enough for dancing with or for music with the stars, and it's quite not new enough for WIIL. So it's kind of in that little sweet spot where it's kind of in the music graveyard until somebody resurrects it. And boy, have you done a good job with that.
Hey, thanks.
So, do you do all? You do covers, originals, a little bit of everything?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. Like I said, for the Dillweeds, our originals mainly come from Adam Lance, and from Pat Garrett and the Outlaws, it's Pat Garrett's originals. We kind of want to focus more on originals, but you got to have a good balance of covers because
Absolutely.
There's so many good songs out there.
and that's what people judge you by, and you're gonna catch them on a cover.
Well, it's the
and
yardstick
draw
where
'em
they
in.
know whether or not. So many people aren't that musical, so that's their way of measuring whether they think you're any good or not, because they can compare it to what they've already heard. Where when they when they hear originals and they're not musically inclined people, they don't know what to judge it against.
Yeah.
And so that's why I tell people who are younger people who are in bands. Obviously, I don't tell you guys anything. You've been at this a long time, but we get these younger people that come into our other studio where we do our podcasting, and they talk to us about their dreams and their ambitions and how they only want to play originals. And I tell them, listen, that's every young musician ever. But the covers are what tell the story as to how far you're progressing in your skill level as a musician. And people want to know that you're good before they want to listen to what you have to play when you're out playing live over and over and over again. Yes, you can have an original catch fire and then all bets are off. But even the greatest entertainers out there are still covering other entertainers' music on a regular basis.
Just now they don't do too many of them.
Exactly.
They slip a few into their set.
They slip a few into their repertoire to make sure that they're keeping people excited. And
plus, if you're going to play all night,
oh god,
you got to have covers, man.
No,
I mean, mix in originals. I mean,
I still think there's the first real group that I got in college, that bluegrass group. I think that they did it really right. Like everybody had their own original songs, but it started with playing the old classic bluegrass tunes. And then, little by little, the originals slipped in, and over time, they became like half the set.
Sure.
Yeah.
And bluegrass is such a great genre to play covers into.
And nobody knows them.
Yeah, you can take any song from any genre and turn it into a bluegrass song.
I heard a lot of AC/DC. There was a group. Bluegrass group plays AC/DC.
The Hayseed Dixies play a lot of AC/DC.
Is that what that is? Yeah.
The Hayseed Dixies. And they started off doing just AC/DC, but they do a little bit of everything. They play some Guns N' Roses. They play, you name it, they play it, but they turn it into a very, very twangy brand of bluegrass on top of it all. And it's fun to hear.
There's Picking on Ozzy, and then David Lee Roth, I think, did a bluegrass version of Jump.
No, I did hear that.
I bet there's Picking on Gloria Estefan.
Picking on Gloria Estefan.
Yeah, just like that's just bluegrass covers.
We really
should
have.
The rhythm's got to get. The rhythm's going to get
awesome.
you.
What?
The rhythm is going to get you.
Rhythm's going to get you.
If you could improvise into that, I mean,
I used to roller skate to that song.
Oh, you grew up in Kenosha, huh?
Yeah.
Red's Roller Rink.
Red's, right?
Hey, if you remember Red's Roller Rink, you got a memory of that, you're going to have to call in here, too, 262-694-1050.
And if you remember it from downtown.
We got somebody already, huh? Yep. You're on WLIP with Get Real with Ralph.
Hello, this is Dr. Pendyke. Not only is the rhythm going to get you, but your gastrointestinology report may, too.
Their what report? Who am I talking to and where are you, first of all?
What?
All right. I think we got cranked.
All right.
I think he
Next
needs,
caller that calls in, decode what that guy just said.
Yeah, if you could decode that for sure.
The toxicology.
We might bring a slightly altered audience to the radio station.
Yeah,
we apologize for
That's
that.
why the station needs it.
Well, that wasn't the call you were trying to dodge, was it, Eric?
No.
Okay. Eric said he's trying to dodge
It's her
a call.
father. It's her father.
It's her father. Well, do I have to tell her that it's not his too?
Well, your intentions with my daughter. Damn rock and roll people.
Yeah, hopefully there's no of those calls.
No.
All right.
But if there is, 262-694-1050 is the number.
That's right. Tell us what you think about bluegrass.
And roller skating to Gloria Estefan.
Roller skating and Red's Roller Rink. Because, my gosh, I don't think I'd have had a puberty without Red's Roller Rink.
Okay. Were you on the whip?
I mean, that's that whole coming of age, though, like when you're noticing the opposite gender and you're really, good thing you're on wheels. That's all I got to say.
The rhythm is gonna get you.
Back in the days,
the Bobby Brady change song.
When the iconic bass line for Queen was Under Pressure and not Ice Ice Baby.
Yeah, there you are.
Did you know there's a one-note difference in the bass line between the two, and they thought that was going to keep them safe?
I did not know that.
Yep.
That's some wild, wacky stuff.
That was a very good Johnny Carson.
I did not know that.
Oh, you are correct, Johnny.
You are correct, sir. Yeah, we're in the 90s.
We are stuck in the 90s. And we're going to go back a little further with a little more bluegrass. What do you guys got for us next here?
You got a nice 3-minute tune?
Oh, nice little oldies bluegrass tune here.
Yeah, we can sail to the top of the hour with your your tune. If you start rolling right away here, you got
3 minutes even.
3 minutes even. Ready, go.
Ready.
Yeah. You want to?
Yep. All right, here we go.
2, 3, 4.
As I walk along, I wonder what went wrong with our love that was so strong. And I think about the things we'd done together while our hearts were young. I'm walking in the rain, tears are falling and I feel the pain, wishing you were here by me to end this misery. And I wonder why wonder why she ran away, and I wonder where she will stay, my little runaway. Run away. I'm walking in the rain, tears are falling and I feel the pain, wishing you were here by me to end this misery. And I wonder why wonder why she ran away, and I wonder where she will stay, my little runaway. Run away. Run away. Run away.
It's 9 o'clock. You're listening to AM 1050 WLIP Kenosha. Streaming live at WLIP.com. Now, CBS News.
This is CBS News on the Hour. Real news, real reporting.
I'm Gary Nunn. Federal officials have said nothing, at least publicly, about President Trump's announced plan to begin rounding up some immigrants due for deportation. About 2,000 people in 10 cities were said to be targeted. CBS News correspondent Jonathan Vigliotti.
In a statement, ICE said they prioritize the arrests and removal of unlawfully present aliens who pose a threat to national security, public safety, and border security. But many politicians, including presidential candidate Amy Klobuchar, question the agency's and president's motive.
You really wanted to go after security risks, and there are people who are security risks. Why would you alert them?
This weekend, protesters took to the streets from Chicago to Oakland, 2 of at least 10 cities the president confirmed would be targeted.
There are scattered reports of low-profile operations in a few places. Mayor Bill de Blasio says there were 3 ICE operations yesterday in New York City. President Trump's criticism of liberal Democrats is taking what some believe is racial overtones. He says 4 Democratic congresswomen of color should go back to what he calls the broken and crime-infested countries where they came from. All are American citizens. 3 were born in the USA. His attack drew raw condemnation from some Democrats.
President Trump has been trying to exploit policy cracks between Nancy Pelosi and the more progressive members of her caucus for the past week. But today the House Speaker stood up for the so-called squad and said Democratic unity is their power.
CBS's Errol Barnett. Barry, which was a hurricane for a short time, was downgraded this afternoon to a tropical depression. What's left of the storm is now on a slow path toward northern Arkansas and southern Missouri.
I'm Jim Crisula in Jackson, Mississippi. Barry is spreading its weather misery across much of the mid and deep south. Heavy rain, flooding, gusty winds, and a tornado threat. Debbie Harmon speaks for many.
I'm ready for it to be over. I'm ready to get back to work. And I hadn't prepared for it at all. Just waiting for it to be over.
With what's left of Barry moving slowly north, the nasty weather conditions won't be over anytime soon across Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, Tennessee, and Alabama. Jim Crisula, CBS News, Jackson, Mississippi.
4 hours, 55 minutes on center court today at Wimbledon. Novak Djokovic defeating Roger Federer, a 5-set tiebreaker, saving 2 match points.
It was probably the most demanding, mentally most demanding match I was ever part of because of everything. And I'm just obviously thrilled and overjoyed with emotions to be sitting here in front of you as a winner.
This is CBS News.
Crime, punishment, redemption.
Even the most demented Hollywood writers would not have dreamed up an ending like this.
48 Hours, Saturdays on CBS.
At Walgreens, we know that your day doesn't stop for diabetes. So when you've got places to go and people to see, count on Walgreens every day to get expert diabetes advice 24/7. Find all major brands of testing supplies like Walgreens True Metrics in-store and online. And download tools to help you stay on track, like our 5-star mobile app with Pill Reminder. At Walgreens, we are your diabetes go-to. Stop by and talk to your pharmacist today. Walgreens, trusted since 1901.
At Indeed, we understand that when it comes to hiring, it's important to have a large talent pool to choose from. But sometimes too many good options can be overwhelming. That's why Indeed doesn't just give you access to a large pool of job seekers. We also offer screener tools that let you instantly narrow down your search. Hone in on hiring with Indeed. Experience Indeed for yourself today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting at Indeed.com/promo. Terms and conditions apply.
On air at AM 1050. Online at WLIP.com, Facebook and Twitter. Live and local. We are Kenosha's radio station, AM 1050 WLIP.
Are you looking for the hottest places to have a dinner date or the coolest places to grab a drink and appetizers with friends? Well, 262 Eats has it all. 262 Eats is a local food show that features the best the area has to offer. Watch Ralph Nudi as he samples the food, interviews the owners, and takes you inside and behind the scenes of the favorite places of locals and travelers alike. Be sure to like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel to win prizes, gift certificates, and get special discount offers. That's 262 Eats.
If you're thinking about replacing or even creating a new hard surface floor in your home,
or if you'd like to accent your walls with hardwood, vinyl planks, tiles, or ceramics,
the choices can be overwhelming. Hi, this is Lindsay.
And this is Kim from Triangle Flooring, Furniture, and Appliance Center. There's nothing worse than spending your hard-earned money on a new floor or wall accent that'll go out of style in a couple of years.
Don't worry. At Triangle, we not only keep up on the latest flooring trends, we've been around long enough to know which looks are going to last.
And with wider, longer, more durable, waterproof planks available, your basement, family room, kitchen, hallway, or any floor is going to look amazing for a long, long time.
Triangle Flooring, Furniture, and Appliance Center, 3 miles east of I-94 on Highway 50 at 39th Avenue, Kenosha.
12-month free financing available to qualified customers with our own Triangle credit card.
Okay, forest animals, kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow, have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
catchy. I like it. River, how's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man.
I love it. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. Okay. Squirrel.
The Forest has been preparing just for you. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
AM 1050 WLIP Kenosha County Radar Weather. Sponsored by
Mason's Eatery and Pub, Highway 50 just west of Green Bay Road, Kenosha. Every Tuesday is Acoustic Tuesday with no cover charge.
Sunday night, 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms mainly before 8 p.m., then turning partly cloudy with a low around 70. Monday, mostly sunny and hot with a high near 90. Monday night, mostly clear with a low around 71. Tuesday, there is a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms after 2 p.m., then turning mostly sunny with a high near 88. This is your weather twice an hour or when severe weather strikes on AM 1050 WLIP.
Gotta love the psychedelic effect of the Electric Prunes there with their own rendition of Kyrie eleison. Kind of a strange rendition, if you ask me. What do you think, Jimmy?
Yeah, very strange. It's, I believe this was playing when they were in New Orleans, when they were tripping.
Doing the,
going to the graveyard.
Doing a little LSD, the guy's an Easy Rider.
Easy Rider, it's 50 years.
50 years.
You were saying they just had clumsy feet and they were tripping over everything.
That's Sean, one of the musicians in the studio with us today.
Sean, no, we
Sean
need to get you. My 11-year-old called in earlier to ask what pole dancing was. Maybe you and him can get together and talk about pole dancing and tripping because they have different meanings for the rest of us.
We do.
That one's going to be a little tougher to.
Well, think about that one.
Make innocent.
We do have a caller on the line.
We do. All right. Well, you're on Get Real with Ralph and WLIP. Who am I speaking with? Name and town first.
My name is Jim, and I live in Racine now. I grew up in Kenosha, and I played in a rock and roll band with Larry Zarletti that played at Red's Roller Rink.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! You mean Larry, the former sheriff, Larry?
The same, yeah.
Oh, God rest his soul. He was such a talented musician all the way around.
He was the front man. He was the singer, and I played saxophone. We had a big horn section, and we tore it up.
And you played at Red's?
Yeah. Well, our manager was Frank Carmichael.
We all know that guy.
Well, yeah. He's a radio personality here on WLIP these days.
So we weren't playing. We weren't playing. The biggest venue.
Yeah, I was gonna say that must have been the gig to get.
Not really, not hardly. But I mean, when we what you wanted to do is you wanted to play at schools. You wanted to play at Tremper or even the junior high schools because they'd pay. We'd go into the bars and we'd play from 9 to 1. And I was 15, and we'd go into the bars and we'd play from 9 to 1, and they'd pay us $175 for a 10-piece band.
Wow! What year was that?
68, 69, maybe early 70. Yeah, right in there. Yeah, I was a sophomore during that was our pretty much our heyday, Yeah. The name of the band, I think the band was the Society or something like that. I can't even really remember. But we were pretty good though. We weren't bad.
Not bad.
Good horn section. Yeah.
So other than playing, what was your favorite thing that you would do when you were just there as a kid? I mean, was it the couple skate? Was it the lucky number? Was it
no? I wasn't interested
disco
in
duck.
No, I was scared of girls. The only thing I wasn't scared of was beer and things to smoke that I shouldn't have had my hands on.
Oh, you were the kid that got kicked out of Red's Roller Rink, weren't you? Tell the truth. For smoking in the boys' room.
My memory fails me.
You don't say.
Were you a long hair?
Was anybody around in the 80s when they took they had that back arcade where they had all the pinball machines and all that, and they took it all out and they put the big giant video screen in there because they thought that was going to be the thing to just stand in there on your roller skates and watch rock videos on MTV. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah, I was long gone by then. I had checked out. I had moved up to Racine and gotten married and stuff.
Yeah, I remember one time I got my butt whooped in there by a bunch of people. I don't even know why, but I was feeling.
I could take a guess.
What was that? You had to fight on roller skates?
I might have been running my mouth.
You think? You think that might have happened? It possibly would have happened.
Yeah,
I didn't know you back then.
Who would have thought that running my mouth could be something that would be a positive later on? But
you'll see.
One of my favorite songs that I would hear there is it would get me all in the mood was whenever you heard this coming, you knew it was time to go find that lucky lady and ask her to couple skate with you, and grab her hand, and all those little dots would be going around in the circles on the roller rink. And I remember sometimes I had to ask 30 or 40 girls to couple skate with me before I could get the one.
And then they put you in a whip.
Wow.
And they throw you across the place.
Yeah. Okay, well, listen, I'm out.
All right, Jim. Thanks for the call,
Thanks
buddy.
for calling.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
I think we
got what it takes, so I made you my wife.
Okay.
All right, we're done with that. All right, so we're going to have the real musicians play some real music here again.
Yeah, okay.
And what are you going to play for us next?
This is old traditional song.
The word old is even in the title.
Yeah, Recca Old 97.
All right.
I thought you were going to say Old Town Road for a minute there, and I was going to show you the door.
It's Sean and Eric on WLIP.
Well, they gave him his orders in Monroe, Virginia. They said, Steve, way behind the times. This is not 38, this is old 97. Put her into Spencer on time. So he turned around and said to his big greasy fireman, shovel on a little more coal. And when we cross them wide old mountains, watch your 97 roll. It's a mighty rough road from Lynchburg to Danville, lying on a 3-mile grade. It was on that grade where he lost his air brake. See what a jump he made. He was going down the grade, making 90 miles an hour. Whistle broke into a scream. He was found in the wreck with his hand on the throttle, scalded to death by the steam. Now to all you ladies, you better take a warning from this time on and learn. Never speak harsh words to true love or husband. He may leave you and never return.
Good job, guys.
Johnny Cash made that one popular.
Johnny Cash. Still one of my favorites.
Kind of ironic with a name like that he went broke, right?
No, that was Johnny Paycheck.
Ah.
In
No,
fact,
still not broke. Or did he? Did
Johnny
he really?
Paycheck died so broke that George Jones bought his gravesite. So Johnny Paycheck is seated at the bottom of George Jones's feet.
And although Johnny Cash may have went broke in his career, he didn't die broke.
That is correct.
Not completely. I mean, there are plenty of musicians I can think of that were far lower on that totem pole as far as financial wherewithal than Johnny Cash. He did some good things toward the end of his career. One of the last recordings that I remember him putting out there was the 9 Inch Nails song "Hurt" when he covered it. You know, we were just talking about covers in the break and how you can take a cover and make it completely different.
Right.
And that changed the entire meaning of the song.
Mm-hmm.
And you could see, if you ever watched the video on YouTube or anywhere else, the hurt the actual hurt in the guy's face. And the director did such a good job of piecing together the parts of Johnny Cash's life. But
I mean, I was listening to Hurt 9 Inch Nails version the other day, and I'm just like, wow, Johnny Cash's version just blows it away, man. I mean, you know.
Oh yeah,
it's just unbelievable.
I think even Trent Reznor has to probably acknowledge that Johnny Cash probably took his song to a completely different level.
He admitted that. He said that's Johnny Cash's song now.
Yep.
They actually play that video at the end when you're walking out of the Johnny Cash Museum, and let me tell you, there's not a dry eye.
I went to the Johnny Cash Museum, but didn't get a chance to get in because he had to wait, and it was quite a long tour. And the next time we go back to Nashville, I definitely want to go through the whole thing because it looked incredibly interesting. Well, there's not much in Nashville that isn't interesting, but that was one of the more interesting things that I've seen.
Have you guys been to Nashville at all?
Couple times.
Yeah. Couple 12 times.
Did you play down there? Did you play at the what's that one club that everybody likes to play at?
We didn't play
hole in the
down
wall.
there. We did play
the Blue something.
I like going to Nudi's bar.
Bluebird.
Bluebird. Yeah,
no, we did not play there. We did go to Knoxville though with American Folk, and we played on the Blue Plate Special WDVX.
Yeah, that was cool.
Oh, neat.
And that's a pretty big Americana station. So we thought that, oh my gosh, we're making it. We're on the Blue Plate Special. But everybody got married, had kids. Stuff happens.
That old thing, that throw a wrench into a musical future.
What was it? My first little Nashville trip was with a couple of members of the old group Dead Horses, which is a Wisconsin kind of bluegrass staple. The fiddle player is my friend Tim Mackery, and now he's in a group called Feed the Dog, and he plays with every band in the Fox Valley practically. Yeah.
Wow.
And I sat in with him a night before at this Mile of Music thing in Appleton. And then we had talked about Nashville, or I had heard that they were going, but then it turned out like it was the next morning. And I had to like make a choice. Like, okay, so I called in to my, the Kenosha Country Club where I was washing dishes at the time. And it's like, hey,
we all have choices.
I gotta take a few days off because I'm making it big time, guys. I'm going to Nashville. I'm gonna be a star.
How old were you?
It was 2 years ago. No, it was more like 15
years,
something
right.
like that.
You're all washed up here. Your dishwashing career is over.
I know. You
It's
can always go back.
Yeah, it's funny, in the 10 plus years that we had, we've actually been able to see some people go from nothing to be that headliner. Horseshoes and hand grenades. For some reason, I was just thinking of Nashville, and there's this clip that you can probably find on YouTube. It's which guy from Horseshoes and Hand Grenades? It's the middle of winter down there, and he's walking around without a shirt, and he's like, "I'm from Wisconsin."
No, there's a weather forecaster just doing his thing on the street, like, "Well, there's a lot of snow going on in Nashville right now, and hey, buddy, aren't you cold?" And he just goes, "No, man, I'm from Wisconsin," and keeps walking. That's Davey.
Yeah, that's
he's a viral internet star now.
What do you think of how the internet has changed the trajectory of getting famous?
That's a weird one. It helps out a lot of people.
Well, content is king now.
Yeah. I have a little cousin who's insanely famous now. His name's he's a jazz.
Oh, Tristan's been on my show.
Yeah, Tristan's been on your show.
He was on my show when we were just a podcast before we even started on the radio. As a matter of fact, I was on his YouTube channel as well. But the first one that we did, he came out and he did the Grabzilla challenge at Grab's Burger Bar with me, and because he had rolled his ankle and he couldn't play basketball that week.
Man.
And I said, well, how about I challenge you to a burger eating contest on camera? And we had a lot of fun. I was an assistant coach for the Pee Wee Steelers when him and my sons and a bunch of other kids all played together, and have stayed in touch with most of them. And one of his teammates was a guest on our show last week because he got famous last week for his 15 minutes of fame for photobombing a couple getting married. And I told him, talk to Tristan, because this kid has really been intelligent in how he took his 15 minutes of fame, which is him playing basketball with a teacher who wiped out.
Yep, and crossing up Marcus.
And took that to and he took that to the next level by just putting out content. And his younger brother was instrumental in doing that and really getting him out there, along with Trent, the the young musician who holds Tristan's camera, and we've watched him go from a couple thousand viewers to
he just blew up.
He blew up over 1 million followers on Instagram. His YouTube channel has hundreds and hundreds of thousands of hits on a weekly basis. But yeah, we had a lot of fun with that. And then he challenged me to a game of basketball horse, or I had to make shots that he made, and he did these crazy layups. And he called that video "Old Men Try to Do Crazy Layups," meaning apparently I'm an old man to him. And I said, well, he definitely got even with me and got the better of me for me giving him that Grabzilla sandwich, because that cheeseburger was hot, and he had tears rolling down his eyes because the burgers were so hot. But it's been a fun ride watching him make it, and it really led to my studying how this stuff happens. And did you know that last year the top 5 YouTube videos, most watched YouTube videos, were geared toward preschoolers?
I believe it.
And it's become the new Saturday morning cartoons. They get the kids watching, and then they roll commercials over the top of it, and then the kids bother mom and dad to buy their stuff. It's no different than Saturday morning cartoons, really, when it comes down to it. So you don't even have to have mature content or good content. You just have to have stuff that other kids think is funny.
Yeah.
And, I remember 5 years ago, my kids, my older boys, just watching kids play Minecraft on YouTube. And I'm like, you're
Eric
watching
plays
another
with-
kid play video games? You're not
Eric's
even
now
playing with
hooked.
them? Yeah.
He's playing with his son.
My son has me hooked to Minecraft. It's true.
Yeah, he made a big blue bear, and it has ladders going up to the eyes, ears.
To the eyes.
Yeah, eyes.
The eyes are the lookout. The head of Big Blue Bear is the lookout.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the world has definitely changed when it comes to.
It's just all Chinese to
getting
me. I
famous.
don't, I go back to pinball.
Sullivan, you got to get on YouTube a little bit.
That's our play.
You got to get on YouTube a little bit and nose around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's vast.
I'll send you some stuff that'll blow you away. I'll tell you that.
All right.
But social media has not just changed how you get famous. It's changed people's perception of other people. Sometimes for the positive, sometimes for the negative.
Yeah.
Did you see this news story about a weekend? It was about 2 weeks ago, and then a couple of days ago now. There's a follow-up story. Starbucks. There was a barista at Starbucks that asked a couple of police officers to leave because another patron felt uncomfortable.
Yeah, I heard some about that. Or saw something.
This is my whole shtick about being stuck in the middle here. Jokers to the left, clowns to the right. There is this backlash against police officers in this country that I think is disgusting. Now, that's not to say that there are some bad apples, because police officers are a cross-section of society. You're going to have some bad apples. But how in the heck do we get to the point where the media is helping gin up this hatred back and forth of one of the most middle-class groups of people of our society? I mean, teachers, firefighters, police officers. These are the people that are in our community, that live next door to us, that go to the same churches that we go to, send their kids to the same schools we send our kids to, eat at the same restaurants. And now people are so worried about tolerance and being tolerant of people that are different from them, or not treating people different because they belong to a group. But here, these people belong to a group based on what their employment is, and they're asked to leave, and nobody gives it a second thought at first.
Yeah, we've gotten to this. A few bad apples spoil a whole bunch with everything. It's ridiculous, but
and it's ridiculous. I was at Mount Carmel Festival today. And I saw everyone wants to think that police officers are bigoted or something like this. Well, I saw a police officer today there who I've known for a long time. Our kids grew up together, and he was there with his wife, and they've raised all 3 of their children. And they had 2 foster children with them that they are in the process of potentially adopting. And these children are not of the same ethnicity as the parents, all right? They don't care about that. They care about people. And I thought to myself, this guy here probably walks into a McDonald's and gets called a racist or gets called just about anything. And if anybody knew that they had already finished raising their children and decided to give their hearts and their lives and their home, regular middle-class people just like you and I, to 2 other children 2 siblings who probably would have gotten broken up, who probably wouldn't have had a chance in and out of foster care their whole lives, and now they're going to be taken care of by this wonderful family who's already done a great job of raising their own kids. And let's face it, most of us at that age, we're getting to our late 40s, we're getting to our early 50s. We've got our last kid leaving the house, and we're like, oh, thank goodness, now we can go and live our life for us. And they're foregoing that. And that stuck in my head because I've been thinking about this Starbucks thing all week long, that how is it that the media can be so complicit in pushing this narrative instead of rolling it back and saying, these are people?
They don't care.
They're people.
They don't care.
They don't care. They care about selling.
Don't think about it too much.
It doesn't matter if it's true or not. It's who's going to read it first, and then how many clicks can they get? How many people are going to land on their page to look at it? Even to
look at it, and they can just
horrible.
demonize. They can just demonize an entire career. Imagine if people started demonizing firefighters. I mean, because fire is good, and these people are fighting. I mean, that's how ridiculous it is.
I can tell you.
That'd be a new one. That'd be a new one on me. I never heard
That might
any,
be the next one. It's going to take them
evil firefighters.
a little bit more time to...
Arsonists against firefighters, I mean...
Right.
And then the firefighters went rogue, and they started shooting fire out of their water hoses and engulfing the city.
Hey, arsonists are
We
people
fight
too.
We fight with fire. We're firefighters.
What did you think?
Have you been
firefighter
doing
meant?
that? Did you do LSD with Stan Lee by any chance?
I wish. That would have been amazing.
That would have been great.
Doing anything with Stan Lee probably would have been...
Unless you're his masseuse.
Well, no, I think that Jeff Epstein should go to hell and become Stan Lee's masseuse.
All right.
I'd massage Stan Lee's calves. Just going on record with that.
Moo.
He's a legend.
Yeah. Calves, you mean...
Not now.
Moo. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they're there anymore. I mean,
if you want to save us from circling the drain, 262-694-1050.
Yeah.
We and we've got a caller here.
I just want to remind people, if your phone number comes up unavailable, we do not take them here at WLIP.
Yeah, if you have a phone that automatically blocks it, put *82 in front of it. *82 will unblock your caller ID. 262.
It's policy here at WLIP.
694-1050. We got to know who you are before you call us if we're going to let you on our airwaves here.
262-694. It's unavailable.
Unavailable. It's probably you know what I think the unavailable call is.
Which every woman I talk to tells me.
I'll bet you when I answer that phone,
unavailable.
Hey, can I get your number?
It's
Sure.
probably
it's unavailable.
It's probably some guy from India telling us that we're delinquent on our taxes. What do you think?
I'll take care of that. Right.
You broke a button, Jimmy.
That button's been broke.
Oh, sure it has.
Speak to tone.
Sure, I'm telling Lenny Palmer on you.
Lenny's probably the one that broke it.
You ever see how hard he hits those buttons in here?
I'm sure that's why it's broken. I can tell you, Lenny probably broke that button. The Grant School bully. He did it.
So you have some upcoming gigs?
Yeah. This weekend coming up, we're going to be playing in Minocqua and in Ogama. So we're going to
Minocqua, Nicaragua, or Minocqua, Wisconsin?
Minocqua, Wisconsin.
Just wanted to make sure we're clear on
which
that.
is
It's a mighty fine place.
Yeah, it's a great place. We enjoyed up there. There seems to be more of appreciation for bluegrass music up that way, Fox Valley up. So
especially in towns populated by 25 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and 24 of them are related.
Mm-hmm.
The 25th one is the one in-law.
No, the Ogama town, that's a literal one stoplight town.
Yeah.
I think it was it the first year we showed up there? There was just a bunch of old timers on the sidewalk just looking at it, shaking their heads, being like, I ain't stopping.
I knew it was one of those towns, so after one of the set breaks, I was just like, who's got the moonshine? And of course, some old lady comes up to us afterwards. I got some moonshine.
Yeah, she does.
Yep, pretty much the further north up in the state you go, the more you can find people who make their own shine, yeah.
And grow their own things.
I actually have a gallon jug of at my apartment right now from one of my friends up north.
Wow.
Yeah,
Next time you're here,
I think they still get you for making your own still, too.
Yeah, I'd bring you some. Yeah.
I think they still get you for having your own still, don't they? I don't think you can even have your own still. Isn't that crazy? In this day and age, you can grow your own Mary Jane in some states, but don't get caught with a whiskey still.
Well, you can do craft beer. I wonder if there's like a certain limit.
Oh, yeah, you can do beer and wine. You can ferment. You can't distill.
Okay.
That's the difference. So you can make I make beer at home, and I love making beer. It's very therapeutic, especially when you get to drink it afterwards. Don't drink it the day you make it or you'll throw up. It's just sugar water.
Oh, wow.
But, after it's done being made into beer. I grew up making wine. like any
Italian.
Any Italian that grew up in Kenosha, we called it Dago Red. I think I can say that because I am one.
Did you stomp the grapes with your feet?
No, that we actually did not stomp the grapes with our feet. We had
There's a
grinder.
toenail in my glass. Where did that come from?
Hey, you know what? If you have a toenail in your glass, it's probably not homemade wine. Probably the witches Macbeth put a spell on you or something like that.
You're going Shakespeare on us.
I'm going. Yeah, I put a spell on you. I could go Shakespeare. I could go 10 different directions with that one.
Well, you could go bewitched, bothered, and bewildered too.
But yeah, you can make beer. You can make wine. As soon as you take that fermented beverage and you run it under a flame and you evaporate it into another container and cool it down and turn it into a distilled spirit, that's where you have to worry about operating an illegal still. And I guess that is the
unavailable.
That is the hey, Mr. Unavailable, we're not answering, just so you know.
Sorry once again, folks, when you call up and if your phone comes across unavailable, we do not take the call. Sorry.
Nope, never.
You guys got another tune? You guys want to play? We'll take a break a little bit. We'll take a break in a little bit.
We'll think about it.
We'll give you guys think about it. We'll talk a
it.
little bit more about what we got going on. Then we'll go to break in about 5 minutes or so.
In about 5 minutes. By the way, if you didn't hear it during the first hour, August 17th, Jim is going to be doing some funny stuff.
Yeah.
For a serious cause.
Yeah,
And you want to talk about that again?
Yeah,
one more
it's
time?
the alternating hemophilia of childhood. It's a disease that is misdiagnosed in thousands of kids. They think they're just, having seizures, so they give them all these drugs, and it ends up that this is actually a disease, and we need to get awareness. They're getting close to a cure for it. What it is, they're developing good genes to get to the bad gene, to kick the bad gene out, kind of like what they're doing with Parkinson's right now.
So a lot of stem cell research, I'm guessing.
A lot of research on it. August 17th at the Hiawatha Bar and Grill in Sturtevant.
That's a fun place. I haven't been there in years.
I haven't been there in years. I'll be doing a little comedy there. Also, Dobie Maxwell, a great stand-up comedian, will be doing some things. There's also a poker run involved. And some really great raffle prizes, which includes a 2015 Wolf 50cc scooter you can win, or a kayak.
A 50cc
like
scooter. How fast can you go on a 50cc scooter, by the way? Is that like the old Honda Spree?
I think you go 35, 40 maybe.
That's how old I am. I hear
That's
scooter, I
enough
think
for me.
Honda Spree.
Yeah. So there's a poker run involved with it too. So that's coming up, and a suggested donation of $10 at the door. I mean, you can walk in and give nothing, but you'll be looked at sideways and be asked to leave.
I'll stand there and look at you all night if you come in there with nothing.
And then there is a great improv show coming up on the 18th.
Okay.
This week in Racine at 6th Street Theater I'm involved with.
And what day is that this week?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
This week.
Yep.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
8 p.m.
I can tell you, I met some of your fellow cast members. Really, really good
we were in
people.
last week. It was a lot of fun.
I was watching them rehearse before the show, and then they came in and we did a little improv. Funny cast of characters you got there.
So we got 3 shows this week, and then the following Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 25th, 26th, and 27th at 8 p.m. again at the 6th Street Theater in downtown Racine. If you go to overourheadplayers.org, you can get tickets in advance.
All right. And if you missed any of that, overourheadplayers.org, any of that, we will make sure that we have the full schedule on this week's episode write-up on GetRealWithRalph.com, which is on our YouTube channel. It'll probably take us till tomorrow to have Gina, who's sitting in the corner diligently taking notes here.
Gina's awesome. Let me give Gina a round of
Gina
applause.
Chappetta.
She's amazing.
Gina came as an intern this summer. I asked my web developer if he knew anybody who might be able to help me put content together. And this has turned into such a wonderful thing this summer. She's helped in every aspect. She's helped me with my food show, 262 Eats. She's helping here with Get Real with Ralph. She's helping do some stuff on in our real estate company as well. And I'll tell you, it's not very often that I meet somebody that well-rounded at that young of an age and take that as a compliment. But boy, she can do so many things when it comes to marketing tasks and social media and believe me, she's a lot faster than I am. It must be I think for like every year of age you get a little slower because she does these postings twice as fast as I do when I go to put it out there.
She grew up with that.
What about our man over here? We got
That's right. Ray's sitting over there going.
Oh, Ray
man,
now gets the love every day. He does. Ray now is our camera guy. He is our video editor. Ray came aboard. I want to say right around November, and he was the second producer for our food show 262 Eats. Which, shameless plug there. Go to 262eats.com if you want to know all the great places to eat. You've probably heard the commercial. But we started doing a food review show, and about 10 episodes in, we had to make a producer change, and Ray came along. I think he was in the right place at the right time, or we had him in the right place at the right time, no matter how you look at it. And so we launched this show, Get Real with Ralph, on the back of right now trying to figure out how to do sound and video, and started just doing round table discussions on different topics in my office. And that turned into this, what we're standing up doing here. Yeah. And none of that could have been done without Ray now paying attention and figuring out how to solve some very complicated audio-video problems that I definitely couldn't solve on my own. And when you're a fledgling company, you don't have the budget to just go grab someone who's been at it for 30 years. And he's done a fantastic job as well.
Way to go, Ray.
Yeah. So when we come back from the break, you guys are going to give us a little more, little more entertainment, and a little more music, and hopefully we'll get somebody who calls in who actually wants to display their phone number, and they want to join in the conversation with us on Get Real with Ralph.
The Lenny Palmer Show, weekday mornings 8 till noon.
Reeling and rocking from all the local, national, international, intergalactic news, which we cover like a bum on a bologna sandwich every 8 till noon, and we will be doing just that on Monday. Whatever comes down the pike for the weekend, I'm sure we're going to be talking about the constitutional crisis and the citizenship question on the census, and also the Epstein scandal too as well, and more. That's 8 till noon every Monday through Friday, award-winning radio. Be there.
AM 1050 WLIP.
Message and data rates may apply.
Guys, got hair loss? I know what you're thinking. Should I shave my head? Comb it over? Wear a hat? Just stop. This isn't 1970. Keep your hair and your confidence, because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration expert, can give you your real natural hair back permanently. They're giving away an absolutely free information kit and a free gift card to everyone who texts *33 to 85850. Dude, you don't have to look like your dad, because this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they use the latest technology to give you your real hair back. You wash it, you cut it. It's your own real, naturally growing hair. And the best part, Bosley's permanent solution is protected by the Bosley Guarantee. Let them show you for free how awesome your hair could look with an absolutely free information kit and a gift card for $250 off. Text *33 to 85850. That's STAR33 to 85850.
Are you looking for the hottest places to have a dinner date, or the coolest places to grab a drink and appetizers with friends? Well, 262 Eats has it all. 262 Eats is a local food show that features the best the area has to offer. Watch Ralph Nudi as he samples the food, interviews the owners, and takes you inside and behind the scenes of the favorite places of locals and travelers alike. Be sure to like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel to win prizes, gift certificates, and get special discount offers. That's 262 Eats.
Is that a faucet running? That's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest. Forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink. What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum. That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest cleaning up the air we breathe. I didn't know the trees were so amazing. Yep, and the forest gives us shade, trees to climb. That's awesome. Let's go explore some more.
Visit the forest today and enjoy all it does, just for you. To learn more about the forest and find one near you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Connect to this radio station from all across the country. Take us to the gym, shopping. How about a road trip? Listen to us now on the free iHeartRadio app. You'll never miss a moment with your favorite radio station. Download the free iHeartRadio app and search for this station so we can go wherever you want us to.
Hi, this is Paul Francetic from Francetic Tax Resolution. Join me this Saturday morning from 7 till 8. We'll talk about taxes, but we'll also have some fun along the way. I'll have weekly guests and giveaways, and we'll take your calls.
Don't get frantic with Paul Francetic this Saturday morning, 7 to 8.
Brought to you by Smokestacks Chimney and Fireplace Repair and On-Site Staffing Services.
AM 1050 WLIP.
Grab your motorcycle,
Head out to R&R Crossing in Russell on July 20th for the Wheels for Alley benefit run. It's a poker run, $10 per person starting at R&R Crossing, cruising here, there, and everywhere, and then coming back to R&R Crossing. $10 for dinner served 1 to 8 p.m. There will be a 50-50 drawing, raffles, lots of great items, all trying to raise money to get Allie, a 7-year-old girl in a wheelchair, a vehicle with a lift to help her mother out. Come on out to R&R Crossing on July 20th for the Wheels for Alley benefit run. For more information or to get your event on the community calendar, go to WLIP.com.
AM 1050 WLIP Kenosha County Radar Weather. Sponsored by
the Kenosha News. Get in-depth local news stories, sports updates, community calendar, and more. Available in the Kenosha News or online at kenoshanews.com.
Sunday night, 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms mainly before 8 p.m., then turning partly cloudy with a low around 70. Monday, mostly sunny and hot with a high near 90. Monday night, mostly clear with a low around 71. Tuesday, there is a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms after 2 p.m., then turning mostly sunny with a high near 88. This is your weather twice an hour or when severe weather strikes on AM 1050 WLIP.
And we are back in the studios at AM 1050 WLIP, WLIP.com, or simulcast on YouTube at GetRealWithRalph.com. And you're listening to It's All Right, Ma, off the soundtrack of Easy Rider on this, the 50th anniversary of that movie. If you haven't seen it, go Amazon Prime it, Netflix it, whatever it is, and watch it. You're in for a classic treat.
Classic. Yeah, it's a classic.
And in the studios with us, with me and Jim today, we have Eric Nelson and Sean Drake, who've been keeping us entertained with their musical abilities. And they've promised to play another cover for us. And then I guess we're going to have a little musical fun while we're at it, too. Is that right?
Yeah, we're going to give it a shot.
Yeah.
We'll try somehow.
All right. If you're watching on the feed, you can see by the look on Eric's face, it got a little fear in his eye. Hopefully he got a little rabbit in his blood, too, while he's at it. All right, what are you going to play for us now?
This could be a Good-Hearted Woman.
Yes. Good-Hearted Woman. Are there any left?
There's a couple, for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Well, there was.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Turned Gina to murder.
Ladies and gentlemen, Eric and Sean.
A long time forgotten, the dreams that just fell by the way. The good life he promised ain't what she's living today. Though she never complains about the bad times or bad things that he's done, just talks about the good times and all the good times that come. She's a good-hearted woman in love with a good-timing man. She loves him in spite of his wicked ways that she don't understand. Through teardrops and laughter that pass through this world hand in hand. She's a good-hearted woman in love with a good-timing man. He likes the bright lights, the nightlife, and good timing friends. When the party's all over, she'll welcome back home again. Though she don't understand him, she does the best that she can. She's a good-hearted woman in love with a good-timing man. She's a good-hearted woman in love with a good-timing man. She loves him in spite of his wicked ways that she don't understand. Through teardrops and laughter that pass through this world hand in hand. She's She's a good-hearted woman in love with a good-timing man. She's a good-hearted woman in love with a good-timing man. She loves him in spite of his wicked ways that she don't understand. Through teardrops and laughter that pass through this world hand in hand. She's a good-hearted woman in love with a good-timing man. She's a good-hearted woman in love with a good-timing man. She loves him in spite of his wicked ways that she don't understand. Through teardrops and laughter that pass through this world hand in hand. She's a good-hearted woman in love with a good-timing man.
All right. Good-hearted woman.
Outstanding.
Thank you.
Now, who did that originally?
That was Waylon and Willie.
Waylon and Willie.
Waylon and Willie. That's good. So we were talking bluegrass improv because a lot of bluegrass is improv, I guess, right? Is that the
well,
the idea?
the solos are.
A lot of the solos are.
Kind of like a jazz band
All right.
format.
Got it.
Everybody gets a chance to have a solo.
It's like a jam session.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And
But there's some lyrical improv that goes along with that too.
Not as much as I've seen. Like the best lyrical bluegrass improv I ever saw was what's his name? Roger Miller. They had Roger Miller on the Muppet Show, and they got Frank Oz and Jim Henson to so they did this Muppet bluegrass band. It was all of them as Muppets, and every time that there was a solo, the banjo player would walk up, and then they'd go bong ding 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 dong dong ding 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 dong dong ding 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 ding. They do it all vocally, even though they had a Muppet banjo in their hand.
Sure. That
Frank Oz came up with the bass. Doom doom doom.
The only thing I can compare that to is old episodes of Hee Haw.
Yeah, I guess you'd see it there too.
It was kind of funny that you said hee-haw, because I was thinking of Roy Clark, the Roy Clark on the Muppet Show.
Oh, my God. It's absolutely amazing.
So,
and one of the greatest pickers ever. The
Oh.
way that guy played. A friend of mine, Joey Van, is this older gentleman, obviously, but he used to tour with, he did comedy. He toured with Roy Clark. He said, and they played golf a lot together. He says Clark was a hell of a guitar player, could not play golf. He just was not a good golfer.
Well, that makes two of us.
Yeah.
I'm not a very good golfer either.
Well, I'm sure he was doing a lot of picking when a lot of people were playing 18 holes.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it takes, and that's what people don't realize is whatever it is you do, you got to spend a lot of time at it to get good.
What's the
you're
thing?
not going to walk out there on the golf course.
10,000 hours or something, or whatever. I forget what it is.
10,000 shots, 10,000 practice shots for every shot you take. I think that was a 10,000 to 1 practice to play ratio. I think I remember hearing that as the number. So
regardless, it's going to take some time.
Sometimes you get to do your practice and you're playing all at once. That's what we do here on Get Real with Ralph. That way we can keep it real, right? Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I was thinking that seeing as how you got a passion for improv and a passion for bluegrass, we could try a little improv bluegrass where...
Well, all right.
Exactly. We could get you laying down a little beat, and then we could throw subjects out there, maybe subjects from today's show even, and see if we could. So Eric can start playing, and then we can throw out like a subject from today's show, and then Sean can try and turn that into some lyrics or into some words. What do you think?
Yeah, sounds like a total recipe for disaster.
Absolutely.
Remember, you'll see why I generally don't talk at shows and have a fiddle.
We've only got 2 dumps, so if you use a swear word more than twice, our game is over.
Nice.
Because
no.
we got to hit the button really quick.
I got it all out of my system before coming in.
Yeah, that's what I normally do.
Yeah, so do I.
Just went through the whole Carlin list. And
I go through a case of Tourette syndrome right before we go on the air. And I just, you ever see when Carlin does that whole, all the words you can't say all at once? It's pretty darn funny.
It sure is. I sure wish I could say all them words, but I can't.
So I'm
gonna make up a song about not being able to say those words.
All right, let's go.
While doing this silly voice. Yep. Well, there are so many swear words out there, and I wish I could say them all. You know the ones I'm talking about. They're in your head. Yep. The S1, the F1, the C1, the B1. What's the B?
Second verse, pole dancing.
Yeah. Yep. All right. There are so many poles that I'd like to dance on. Wait a minute.
There's poles you like to dance on?
Yeah. I really didn't. I kind of put my foot in my mouth with that one.
Well, tell us about the
I wish I could use one of those words that we can't say.
To dance on a pole?
No, that would be like, wee.
Well,
we can say that word.
Let's skip to the third verse, Cops in Starbucks. What do you think?
Okay, hold on. I got this one.
All right, here we go.
So I called up a firefighter to my house, and they set it on fire. So I went to the local Starbucks and bought a Frappuccino, and I put it out myself by pouring coffee on the fire. Yeah.
All right. Well, that was a lot harder than it looked,
There's
huh?
something, huh?
Yeah, it's a much easier standing on this side, just throwing the words out there to you and seeing if you can make it into something.
Yeah.
But I think we might
so
be.
That's
I don't think
yeah.
I've done too many improv bluegrass.
Well, just think country instead, and it's easier.
Right. Yeah.
Especially if you play it
like
backwards.
if we played improv country, then it's super simple because go ahead, name those topics that always come up in the pop country songs now.
Pole dancing?
Yes.
Trucks.
Dogs.
Maybe they have a pole mounted in the back of their truck.
Bars.
Oh, that would be great. She got a pole in the back
Yeah.
of the F-150.
It's practically
Swings on an inch,
You know,
she's
like-
mighty nifty.
when
Knocks the way I fish.
Yeah.
Where I cast my line.
Yep. Go ahead.
Hook on a good one.
Keep them
reel
double
it on
entendres
in.
coming.
These are actually pretty good. Someone's going to listen to this and steal this. And
I know. We shouldn't have done it on live radio, guys. I mean, how it's not a closely guarded secret anymore. Hey, we got
unavailable.
We got nobody. Nobody. I feel like I feel
It's
like this
okay.
is a
I
Seinfeld
think
show.
the
Nobody
secret
keeps
is
calling
safe.
us. Really, the phone keeps ringing and it's nobody.
Right?
That is
Yeah.
That is totally the premise of this show today.
It is. It is. It's a show about nothing. We got nobody calling.
Yeah. We're singing gibberish. I could.
Hey, I'm current on all my bills.
Well, I think it might be the IRS calling us from India, letting us know that they're going to send the local sheriff to our house to come get us if we don't pay the money
Yeah.
over the phone right now.
Or
that
a
would be a great
firefighter to
bluegrass song.
set your house
Oh.
on fire. That's the new threats.
Yeah.
Don't make me get the fire department over here.
Fighting fire with fire.
Yeah, exactly. That one was coming.
That was coming.
Yeah, the only song I can think of in pop culture that has that would be Billy Joel.
Oh,
We didn't start the fire?
Yep.
No. You
No?
can say the human heart is only make-believe.
Well,
I am only fighting fire with fire.
That's the one.
Oh.
Yep. You may be... No, that's not You May Be Right.
No.
It's Don't Ask Me Why.
Yep.
There we go. That took a while, and I didn't Google it, folks.
No.
Oh, yeah. Good. Well done.
really don't have
Well,
to.
Google manipulates the answers anyway. They're going to tell me the answers they want me to come up with in my head.
Whenever you're trying to think of a song, you start singing the song till it gets to the chorus, what the name of the song is.
Yeah, but that's hard
It's
to
like,
do
oh,
on the
yeah.
radio.
Oh, the Hokey Pokey. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I knew something about putting...
You know, put my right hand in, took my right hand out. I put it in, I shook it all about.
Jim, don't tell us
What
what you're
is
doing
this
with your right
song?
hand.
What's this
It's- it's
song?
still
What is this
radio.
song? Hokey Pokey, turn yourself around. That's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm. You guys remember going to the local record store and doing exactly just that to them?
Way back when.
Because you didn't know what song it was.
It just kind of got up there, and I started singing the song a little bit.
I had a literal one of those in my life. It's still to this day. It was a Curtis Mayfield song.
Okay.
Say it's all right, it's all right. But I heard it in the movie, the made for TV movie version of It, that old one.
Yeah.
And it's like the only song in it.
Yeah.
And I remember like when I was a little kid going to record stores and being like, "Do you guys, can you show me which one this is? It's all right." Da, 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 da.
Oh, they would
It's
stand there and they
all
would
right.
just look at you
Yeah.
like you were Dumbo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember going to Grand Central and trying to figure that out.
It took years before I found out what that song. I mean, I was
Now
also
they have
too
an app.
dumb. Should have looked at
You
the
just
credits.
pull out the app and it'll tell you what song and who the
Mhm.
artist is.
Yeah, you got SoundHound now. You can just sing into your phone. Of course, some people sing into it and it comes up with a song right away. And some people, you could probably put it in front of it, it'll never find a song. My wife was one of those people you would never find the song if she sang into it. I swear to God. She has to give me the lyrics and I got to look it up by lyrics. Hopefully the lyrics are right because you ever just... You
Needs
ever
a
meet
little-
someone that just has
little work on that pitch, eh?
no melodic? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Sorry.
be like Simon Cowell. You were very pitchy there. Yeah, but no, I think that was Randy that caught everybody pitchy.
It was
Dog.
rubbish. It was total rubbish.
I was offended to even hear it.
There we go.
I was offended. You offended my senses.
I don't have any senses left to offend.
Simon Cowell.
Simon Cowell.
I will offend your sense of smell.
Well, that. All right. No, we don't do those here.
Yeah, we do. You just don't know it.
Yeah. We don't. Well, at least we don't do the sounds. You just have to assume that sort of thing is going on.
Well, with the video, it'll catch the faces, so we'll know if it's real or not.
Oh yeah. Oh,
yeah, you'll
geez,
see.
That's right.
You'll see Sean crinkle. All of a sudden,
I will.
little crinkle happens there.
Well, we're just about out of time, folks.
We are just
This
about
is-
out of
this is-
time.
I would say
and
this
material.
This was one of the best shows we've had.
It is, and
you
we are
guys are just
kind of throwing. Yeah, I am. But we've got everybody together.
We did
We had like nothing planned.
zero.
I let me reiterate. You had nothing planned
I had
for
nothing
for this show.
Nothing planned.
I rely on him.
Gotcha.
Yeah, which normally it comes together nicely.
That's where all that
But
improvisation.
today we proved that it can come together nicely, even with a little less prep work. So with that, we are going to sail on out on the back of Dr. John because I feel like we're all in the right place at the wrong time, like always on Get Real with Ralph.
I thank Sean and Eric for coming in. Give you
Thank
guys a
you
round of
too.
applause. You guys
Thank
are
you.
amazing.
And we will see you on your next show. Playing when? Did you say you're playing again?
Well, really, we're not playing anywhere locally for a while. When's
Oh,
the
you
next
guys are
local
going to be
show?
doing
We're
the
gonna be in
Okama,
Minocqua and Ogama.
and I'll be at Moondance.
Peachtree Music
Peachtree
Festival.
Musical, August
Peachtree,
10th and
Definitely,
11th.
everybody come out to Peachtree
Yes.
Music Festival.
Yes.
There's a lot of great local acts playing there, as well as
And
some,
Panoyer Park.
touring acts. So
The band show.
definitely, maybe you guys can, as it gets closer, I'll plug that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds good.
Definitely will.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
I've been in the right place